Hi, welcome back to our new episode of Paytm Developer Series. As you might remember, we had done a very interesting episode on Paytm payouts the last time. Today, we have two very interesting gentlemen and a very, very wonderful product called the Paytm Mini Apps. We have Srinivasan, who is the project lead for Paytm Mini Apps, and Prince Jain, who is the product manager of Paytm Mini Apps. As you already know, Paytm Mini Apps is a program that we launched a few months ago and has had fabulous traction in the market. So I'd like to invite Shreyas to introduce himself and then Prince to introduce himself to the audience.
Thanks, Saloni. Hi, everyone. I'm Shreyas. I'm a long-time open source developer, entrepreneur, and now working on the Paytm Mini App Store. And looking forward to sharing this journey with all of you.
Thank you, Saloni. So hello, everyone. I'm Prince Jain, the product manager for the Paytm Mini App Store. Been here with Paytm for the last 2 years and really lucky to have built this product from scratch. And really excited to share what we have been working since the last developer conference with all of you guys.
So today we have a bunch of new things to announce. Obviously we have a bunch of marquee partners now live, over 600 apps. We have about equal number of them already in the pipeline. Second, we're announcing the DIY store where any developer across India, small, big, medium, can go to business.paytm.com today and start building his mini app and get a feature on the Paytm.
And I'd like to invite Prince to just understand a little bit about the flow. Like, how does this work and how can the developer start accessing this?
So after our developer conference last year, a lot of merchants and businesses have been requesting us to make it easier for them to come on board to our platform and start reaping the benefits we have in store for them. And we are really proud to announce today that we have launched a do-it-yourself flow where anyone and everyone can come on board and become a part of this journey. Coming on board as a part of mini apps using the DIY flow is really simple. There are just two simple steps which a merchant needs to follow. The first step being onboard themselves using the Paytm for Business dashboard. This dashboard is essentially the same dashboard which merchants currently use for all their payments and reconciliation needs. So as soon as the merchants open the dashboard, they'll find a link to register for mini apps. On clicking of that, just by filling a simple form, a merchant can instantly onboard themselves as a mini app on our store. After onboarding, we have also created a separate new flow to make it easier for merchants to integrate to our platform. And for that, what you need is just the Paytm app you already have on your phone. So after onboarding, you'll see a QR code on the business dashboard. Just scan that QR from your Paytm app and you'll be able to see a developer mini app. This is a new mini app which we have created for us and for our developers, which merchants can use to configure their app to allow access to this app to other developers which are there for the team, and also to integrate and submit their app for review. Once the review is done, we'll make the app live in no time. So that's what the DIY flow is all about.
Interesting. So these are the steps that any developer can follow and they can bring their app live and in action on the Paytm Mini App Store. And Shreyas and Prince, I also hear from you that, in the spirit of what you've done in your previous lives as open source developers, you have sort of built a developer community where developers don't necessarily need to rely on a Paytm resource to solve their problems. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we have now an online community where any developer who faces issues integrating or faces some bug, doesn't understand what is the right way to do it, can go there and post a message. And it's a community of other developers who can answer it. So there are now more than 1,000 developers who've gone through this journey. And the hope is those developers now onboard the next 100,000, right? So that's it. You go to community.paytm.com and we have a community of developers who understand our platform well. Our own engineers are also active on that platform. So any issue you face, please post it there, join, ask questions. We'll make sure your doubts are cleared, your questions are answered, and your mini apps get live.
Wow, sounds very exciting. And are there any new features that they should look forward to, that they should, keep in mind while they go about doing this?
Obviously, along with the DIY, we also were busy building a lot of cool features for our users. Following up from the developer conference last year, we now are live on the Paytm for Business app as well. So any developer who creates their app on the Paytm app is automatically also gets a chance to create and host their app onto the Paytm for Business app. So essentially meaning there is zero effort at the developer end to host their app onto multiple Paytm properties. So once the integration at Paytm end is done, it's just a single click and your app is also instantly visible to all the business users for the Paytm for Business app. So that's big. So we now have the capability to add home screen shortcut to the device. So essentially further bridging the gap between a native app and a mini app. So now for the end user, the flow is even seamless, where they can find all the mini apps which they have used, which they have added shortcut to directly from their phone's home screen. On a single tap, it's directly be landed to the mini app. So that's how we have been trying to plug in the sort of gaps which are there from bridging the gap between native and a mini app.
So you're saying that I open a particular app in the mini app store, and if I like using that app, then I can just set it as a icon in my own phone screen, so that I don't need to even go back to the Paytm app. I can straight away click on that. So my most frequently visited apps can just be an icon on my own home screen, but I don't need to download that app and hence, allocate space as a user.
Not just download, or you don't even remember login or payments as well. So in a single click, all your frictions are taken away. So yeah, that's the key.
That's a bigger pain point. That is a bigger pain point. Remembering login details for all of these apps as a consumer is such a pain. And what I heard also, Prince, what you said is that I can list my app as a developer on the Paytm for Business app as well, which means that, like we know in India, that most businesses make money by B2B transactions, and it's faster and it's easier to sell to another business. So I can access a business community using Paytm as well.
Yeah, so as you already know, right, we have the strongest merchant network in the country, and by coming on board as a mini app, you also get instant access to this 15 million strong merchant base where you can host and show your products and services to those merchant networks.
And Saloni, I just want to add the point you made. This allows our developers to build new use cases targeting merchants, right? So far, there isn't a single app store where you can coherently target the largest merchant base in India and build applications for them, whether it's tax filing, whether it's GST, whether it's better savings, whether all sorts of interesting accounting, QuickBooks, whatever you want to do, right? There is such a huge opportunity now to build monetizable apps targeted at merchants and then deliver them absolutely with zero cost.
These features sound extremely exciting. Prince, could you also share with us something new which is in the works and just give us a little glimpse?
Sure, Saloni. So there's one more feature we are really excited to have been working on, and that is the universal QR code scanner. So again, if you think of QR in India, you have to QR is the Paytm app. Paytm app currently is the most used QR scanner in the country, and we wanted to share a piece of this with our merchants, which are our mini apps partner as well. So what we are enabling through this feature is essentially merchants can link their existing QR codes, which they already have issued or installed, to the relevant mini apps which they have on our store, and this essentially helps in a offline to online conversion, and which again comes at a zero additional cost to the merchant.
Yes, and I know, like I keep saying, India is going through a magical time, and I think this couldn't be taken lightly. Whatever we've discussed today, I think this is incredible opportunity for everybody who currently has a business or is building a digital business, or even an omni-channel business for that matter, where they want to access digital distribution. I think this is incredible. And I think we have a more detailed workshop coming up as well. Details of the workshop will be posted on our social media and will be available. This workshop is an invite-only workshop for some of our developers, to groom them, to show them where we are currently, and to share more details about the mini apps program and any questions they might have. So please do watch out for the date and the time for the workshop. And our next episode, we are going to meet Vineet Deopajari, who runs the startup and small medium business for the Paytm payment gateway at Paytm. And we're very excited to hear from him the special programs and the offers that they've put together for startups. So please keep watching, and we'll see you again soon. Thank you so much.
Paytm karo.